vigil today in protest to the massacre of civilians that my brother Tito just mentioned, men, women, and children that were killed last weekend in Afghanistan. But I want to say something about this war and these wars and lies. This is not the first massacre of civilians in Afghanistan, nor in Iraq. Credible institutions have estimated that 1 million civilians were massacred in Iraq, led by our government. The soldiers sent by our government into Iraq, into Afghanistan, and now threatening to attack Iran. There are troops maneuvers planned for the Philippines with the U.S. troops. There have been military bases established in Colombia. And this is all against the interests of the majority, the 99% of the people of the United States and the people of the world.
We call ourselves Americans and we let these atrocities go on. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves. This is what America represents, killing, murdering civilians. I thought we represent freedom and democracy. What's wrong with that picture, America?
Celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
Well, we need another St. Patrick today. As a matter of fact, we need a whole bunch of them because we got a lot of snakes in D.C. that need to be driven out. We are the St. Patricks. We are the ones that can get these people out. We are the ones that can show our children that we will stand up against the imperialistic points of view that others are putting upon us now in our name. I cannot picture anyone that's walking around this plaza today saying we should be killing people.
That's right.
That is atrocious.
Yes.
That is absolutely atrocious.
Yes.
And for those of you few who do believe that we should be at war, I would suggest to you to get to the nearest recruiter and you join up.
Yeah.
Take those who demand that we fight and make them fight. Take the people out of Congress and put them on the front line.
Right.
Stand up, resist, question authority at every point. Make them explain to you why we are in Afghanistan, why we were in Iraq, and for God's sake, why we're looking at invading another country. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Stand up. You are Americans. We are. It is in our genes to go against this type of situation where we're going to be, or trying to be, some type of imperialistic nation. It is not our way.
Yes.
Defend our nation, I'm for it 100%. Attacking others, I'm against that 100%. Stand up, be counted, make sure that people know where you stand, plant the seeds where we can look forward to a world where we can all get together. There are far more commonalities between us than there are differences. I'd like to thank you all. We are all human beings. There is no difference between any of us except in our ideology. And most of us would stand up and want to see our children, our grandchildren, have a planet where there is harmony, where people care about each other, and where we're not just walking around blindly being told what the Kardashian sisters are doing every day. Stand up, people. That is our American birthright, and we can do it. Thank you.
As for the war in Afghanistan itself, the Obama administration went out of its way to escalate this war. It's up to 100,000 troops now, even though 20-some-odd thousand are slated to come out in September. What we say is, troops out now. What we say to the troops is, get on the troop transports. Take the jeeps. Get on the transport airplanes. Get out there any way you can. We'll send you sneakers to get you out of there. But get out of Afghanistan now, today.
No progress is being made, that the situation is deteriorating, and in fact our whole policy of trying to train Afghan troops and police forces is failing, and that those forces are making deals with the Taliban. The real, very simple question is anything going to be different 2 or 3 years from now than now? And it seems that the best projections by the experts is that no. The situation is going to be exactly the same or worse 2 or 3 years from now than now. So what is the point of staying? There's going to really apparently be no benefit. And in fact, what's going to happen is more people are going to be killed, more Afghanis, more American soldiers, and more soldiers from other countries. So if the situation is not going to improve, what's the point? In fact, there's just going to be more death and more destruction. And so if there's no point in being there, the only logical conclusion is that we have to leave.
Hi, I'm John Harris. I'm with the United National Anti-War Coalition. I want to know, this war in Afghanistan, what's it good for?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Say it again.
It's
absolutely nothing. This war is good for absolutely nothing. Well, guess what? It's good for some people. Those who enrich themselves on the war industry, those who are the makers of bombs, those who are the makers of M16s and weapons of mass destruction, it's good for them. That's how they make their living, their wealth. This war has to be shut down. The troops have to be removed immediately. That's what we want.
for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Thank you.
How do we fix the deficit? End the wars, tax the rich.
How do we fix the deficit? End the wars, tax the rich. How do we fix the deficit? End the wars, tax the rich.